Hello and welcome to Upclose with Dec, where we get to learn about the Drug Enforcement Commission and the interventions in the fight against drugs, substances, and money laundering. Cybercrime, an issue of growing concern in Zambia. Given the frequency of cases in which people have been defrauded of their hard-earned money, DEC is one of the institutions that handles an element of cybercrime in its operations. But just what exactly is cybercrime, and how can you protect yourself?
Cybercrime is the commission of any crime by use of electronic gadgets or electronic devices such as computers, mobile phones, and other electronic devices. It is probably in two parts. One is where you actually make the computer itself the target of the attack, where you attack a computer or a computer infrastructure. And the other part is where the computer is used as an aid to be able to commit a common crime. For instance, forgery of a signature or a document. In previous years, you'd find that people would have to practice how to sign a number of times. With the coming of computers, you find that they can just scan the signature and be able to place it on a document, and somebody would have actually been aided by a computer to commit forgery, which would otherwise be committed even without a computer. If I start from the global perspective, the badness with cybercrime is that it doesn't respect borders. One can be sitting in one country or in one location, but will be able to commit a crime across borders. So that in itself shows how prevalent it is. But coming to our jurisdiction, which is Zambia, it is also very common in that according to the statistics that we have as the Drug Enforcement Commission, and specifically the Anti-Money Laundering Investigations Unit, almost 90% of the cases that we receive involve some cybercrime of some sort. Currently, we are having a problem of identity theft, where people will get the credentials of somebody to log on to their computer, to log on to a particular system, whether it's a banking system or it's a mobile money system. They'll get the credentials and they'll be able to log on. Another one it has to do with the ATM fraud. In ATM fraud, it is where people are able to steal the login details or the PIN that is used on the ATM for them to be able to access the money. So you find that fraudsters would put certain gadgets that are able to read the information that is on the ATM card, but at the same time they'll have a camera somewhere which will be able to depict or to pick the PIN as the user is entering it, and with that information they are able to replicate the ATM and they can be able to use it in other areas to be able to defraud the person, the victim who would have been compromised. In the first place, we will need to be able to safeguard things like your password. Your password, your PIN, is your first line of defense. And so once it is compromised, you cannot be able to blame anybody. So that means that if you are withdrawing money from an ATM, yes, you are alone on the ATM, but it wouldn't be bad if you covered your hands or the keypad as you are entering the PIN. Because even if the fraudster got away with the details that are on the black mark tape that is on the ATM, without your PIN, they will not be able to access your details. But secondly, the use of social media should also be limited to certain things. There is information that you can be able to share on social media, and some information you must not be able to share on social media. Things like your NRC, your voter's card, your things that identify you, uniquely identify you, must not be shared on social media, because it is such things that fraudsters can get and be able to attack you and be able to defraud you because of the things that you have posted on social media. But also in where you work or with the devices that you have, you need to make sure that even if you have a phone. You need to have a PIN on your phone. I think most people don't really know how much information is there on their mobile phones. With the coming in of smartphones, each smartphone has got a username or an email account, whether it's a Google account, and that Google account is like your unique identification worldwide, because there is no one who has the same email address as you. Now, if you're using a phone and you don't have a PIN on that particular phone, what it means is that whoever has access to your phone will be able to have access to those details that are there in your email. And so you find that some of us are using the same email even for our banking details. So if somebody gets access to your phone, they'll have access to all these details. So you need to make sure that even if you want to show your spouse that you are faithful in your marriage or in your relationship, put a PIN. Probably tell them the PIN, just if you want to be transparent and all. But make sure that if the phone was to fall into the hands of a stranger, they will not be able to easily have access to the information that is on the phone. In addition, when you talk of security on your computer and on your laptops, you should not use a laptop that does not have antivirus. It's always important that you have an antivirus, and from time to time you update the operating system that is on the computer. I know that sometimes we find it very annoying where the computer is about to shut down, then it starts telling you updates this, updates that, but those are very important because it is actually securing your system. Another trend that is there is where people send you phishing emails, where they tell you that you have won something in a competition that you don't even remember entering yourself. They'll tell you, no, your email address was picked randomly, and so you have won yourself so many dollars or pounds or something. And so in trying to woo your attention, they'll give you a big figure and try to catch your attention. Do not respond to such emails, because those are just meant to either have access to your machine by you clicking on something that installs a malware or a malicious software on your computer, which will give access to the fraudster to be able to come onto your computer. Or they are meant to actually enrich themselves, where you begin to send them money so that they can be able to process one thing or another. All those are scams that you must be able to stay away from. So you need to be able to guard yourself. The world of the internet is an open world, where the moment you step onto the internet, you have actually made yourself vulnerable to so many things. You need to be able to look out for yourself, to watch what you do, and make sure that you're secure at all times.